Okay, we just did the inspection at 13660, and I can't even pronounce this.
Eridanus?
Eridanus? Is that what it said? Okay. Eridanus Drive. Okay, it's a two-story townhome with an attached garage, and got here about 9 o'clock. It's about 11:30, so it's a 2.5 hour interval that we took to look at the place. I want to tell you a little bit about the construction and the most important items, and then look at the inspection report to rely on all the other details that we uncovered while we were here, and if you have questions we can address them later. But the first thing we looked at was the roof. It's a combination roof. It's got several different types of materials. It makes it very interesting, but very unique, and it looks like it's pretty well done. In the front, you have a combination of architectural asphalt shingles and fiberglass roll roof shingles, and that's over the porch, and then a flat stretch that goes across the front of the building, which is like a mid-level roof. Then you go to the back where the garage is, and that's a hip roof with architectural shingles. And all areas as far as the roof covering goes look pretty good. Getting up to the second story was really difficult, and how I did that was I got onto the garage roof and then took my ladder up there and used it to get to the second story roof. That's a commercial grade flat roof covering like a vitamin roof. So it's done pretty well. There's no evidence of any substantial leaking at the main areas of the flat roof in the house, at the small attic space that we had access to in the second story. A little different with the garage roof though. There is evidence of previous water penetration, and it's a long-term penetration issue where the roof deck in small areas has actually rotted at the soffit and part of the wall, but it's restricted pretty much to your garage roof. So the first thing that I'm going to ask Renee to help us with, because I don't know the answer, is to find out who's responsible for the roof. Is it the homeowner or the HOA? If it's the HOA, then we need to find out proof of repairs, like when they repaired it to make sure it was fixed. And if they have no record of repair and they're the ones responsible, then we need to submit our roof section of our report to them so they know that there's a problem and they can address it. But either way, the damage is there. It may not be substantial, but it's still water damage and noteworthy. If you have questions about that, let me know. I don't know exactly where all the penetration came from. My theory is at the junction of the second story wall and the first level garage roof at a valley. But there's no attic access there, and I can't fit in the opening that's in there, and I'm pretty small. I don't think many people will be able to fit. I used the flashlight to peek, and I couldn't find out any more information, so I was limited. Construction-wise, building is very solid. It's a concrete block, reinforced masonry building, concrete on both sides all the way up. And how I know that is the second story attic, I was able to see the sidewalls. So I know the firewalls are concrete block masonry. Up front, I was able to confirm that just simply also by the attic access when I was looking for strapping. So I saw the masonry block, I saw the strapping, the roof deck nailing and the attachments, and everything here looks very good as far as that's concerned. So it's a pretty solid structure. Moving on to different other aspects of the inspection, we went and looked at the plumbing. Your water comes in at the front of the house. Water meter is really easy to find. You pretty much trip over it as you walk into the front door. You have a main shutoff valve at the front of the building to the right of the front door, which was easy to find too. The plumbing materials are PVC and CPVC, and I didn't have any noteworthy plumbing issues here. Everything from the water heater to the pipes, the materials, the valves, the fixtures, for the most part, inspected very well. Air conditioning system, cooling perfectly and heating well. It's an original 2007 13 SEER carrier system, and like most carriers at this age, it's about 10 years old. It has rust around the coil package. You can see it in there. That's pretty typical for the age. It does need a good cleanup. It's got some organic matter on the coils themselves and in the interior air handling cabinet. That could be cleaned up rather easily. And I would expect the unit to last another 1 to 3 years if you take care of it. In some cases they can last a lot longer. It really depends on how well taken care of it was before this and where we go from here. But still have a little bit of life in it, and it's doing its job. As far as the electrical system, that was another positive for the place. I mean, one of the interesting things about these type of condominiums, or townhomes I should say, sorry, is the way they do the electrical. In this particular case, you have a main service disconnect on the outside of the building at the southwest corner. You have access to it, but it's a meter section with all meters for the whole building, and then your breaker is over there. You have a sub panel in the garage, and I paid specific attention to the wiring and the metal at the coils because of the Chinese drywall concerns people have for homes built around this era, and I didn't have any evidence at all of a sulfur issue, which is very positive. Looking at the electrical system, you have your main service wiring is rated for 150. That's what you got, 150 amp. The branch wiring is copper. Everything looked very good inside the panel. And then because it's a vacant place, I had access to all the outlets. I checked them all. They're all great, no issues. Ground fault protection at the exterior, the garage, the kitchen, and both bathrooms. So I think overall it inspected very well. The priority here, in my opinion, is finding out who's responsible for the roof and finding out if those repairs had been made already and this is old damage, or if nobody knows about it and it has the potential to get wet again in certain raining conditions. So that's a question mark we need to find an answer to. The rest, I think, did pretty well. If you have questions, give me a call. We can do a conference call after you read the report if you'd like, and we can discuss things further.
Excellent, thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, Paul.
No problem.